You are tuned into a blast from the past with the coach, Michael E. Mayden. We have some classic interviews lined up for you today, starting with CC Sabathia, Albert Pujols, Andrew Miller, Sean Figgins, and Tony Gwynn Jr. Let's get this show started with CC Sabathia. Now, the first time I met CC, I was in New York when the Yankees won the World Series. I was in the Yankees locker room with lots of champagne and celebrating going on. When CC stepped on my foot, oh, it hurted too. Now, CC is a big guy to be stepping on somebody's foot. Since that time, I had the opportunity to interview CC one-on-one.
All right, and welcome back to Talk to Me with the coach, Michael E. Mayden, as we're on the road today, and we ran across the man, the big C, CC Sabathia. How we doing?
Good, how you doing?
Just fine. We got a lot of young, aspiring baseball players that look at you and idolize you and desire to be like you. What goes into making a CC?
Just, love for the game, working hard, definitely being a student of the game and listening to coaches and, just trying to do everything you can to get better every time out.
I used to coach college baseball and I scouted for 5 major league teams. And I've always told kids that the quickest way to the big leagues was pitching and catching. And you being a pitcher and throwing up velocities, when you go out there, what do you work on to make yourself better specifically?
I just try to make sure I'm throwing the ball over the plate, and make sure, I'm getting ahead and trying to put guys away. But the biggest thing for me is throwing strikes and being aggressive in the strike zone.
During a 162-game schedule, people don't realize the wear and tear that goes on a pitcher and his arm and keeping that arm in shape. So what do you have to do to keep your arm in shape?
I do a lot of jobs. I do manuals with the training staff, making sure I'm staying loose and, but it's really nothing you can do. You just have to get used to throwing.
So do you go through that dead zone? Your arm through that dead zone?
It's usually early in the season. It's usually early in spring training where you just get that dead. You can't really get, just feel like the ball ain't coming out right. So it's always, early in the year.
In your rookie season and you move on as a veteran, do you prepare yourself differently in terms of conditioning?
Oh, 100%. I had no routine, back when I was young. I really had no concept for that. But, being around older guys and playing with older players and just watching the way they go about their business definitely helped.
You came over to the Yankees and you got a World Series ring. What did that feel like?
It's unbelievable. That's what you play for. To win a championship and to be able to come over here and do it with this organization the first year at the new stadium was definitely a great feeling.
And by the way, I got to let you know, I was at the World Series locker room. You bumped all of me and threw champagne on me.
Yeah, I was feeling good.
You don't want your championship ring around?
No, I haven't. I haven't even taken out the box.
So nobody know you got a World Series ring? When you're a scout, we would look at the other scouts when they got their ring on. We do it with a championship team.
Yeah, maybe when I get older or whatever. But right now, it's just in a safe place and not even out the box though.
So again, taking my young audience behind the scene, I knew Swish when he was over here with the White Sox. I knew Granderson when he was like that playing high school ball here in Chicago. What those guys like?
Oh, good dudes, man. Definitely, two of the better players in the league. Bring great energy to the clubhouse, to the team, and it's just, honored to be able to have those guys on my team.
Well, with Swish, it has to be nonstop laughing on this team.
Yeah, it is. It keeps it loose, so it's definitely something that we need.
Coach, take you behind the scene with the man, CC. Appreciate it.
Well, following CC is another Major League Baseball star of the game, a future Hall of Famer, the legend himself, Albert Pujols.
Behind the scene Major League coverage, and we ran across the man, Albert Pujols. How we doing today?
Good, man. A little cold. I didn't thought we were going to have this cold weather here in Chicago, but, had to do whatever you had to do,
Well, we thought you was going to bring a little of that L.A. weather with you.
Oh, man, we were in Houston, actually. It was decent. We should have brought someone else with the plane, but, obviously, as soon as you get adrenaline and everything as the game starts, you forget about the cold weather, just concentrate on the game.
But we're taking our youngsters behind the scenes, introduce them to Albert Pujols. So, I mean, you've been in the big leagues, doing a little research on you since 2001. That's a pretty long time to be in the big leagues.
Yeah, I got drafted in 1999. My full year was 2000. I got to the big league in 2001 after 1 year in the minor league. But, you know, the Lord's been good to me. You know, God has given me special talent and ability, and I just taken advantage. You know, I have some great friends, great teammates that helped me along the way, including my wife, you know, with my beautiful family always supporting me. And obviously, you know, it's been an amazing career, bro. I'm not done yet. You know, I'm still playing. I'm still enjoying the game. I'm still hungry for the game. And take every little opportunity, you know, that I get. Obviously, it took me a long time, you know, to get that opportunity as a professional athlete, and I got it. And I just want to take advantage until the day I'm done playing.
So what was high school baseball like for Albert Pujols?
It was great. I went to a small high school, Photo State High School in Independence, Missouri. And, you know, we had a great program. We won my first year state champion in 1997. We were one game away in 1998 from repeating it to go to state, and we got beat by Blue Spring. But you know, it was great. You know, I still in touch with a lot of guys that I play in high school, and you know, one of my good friends that I still in touch. His name is Chris Franca. He's you know, we played summer league together a couple of years, and then we play in high school, and it was something that I enjoyed it. I knew what I want. You know, it was something that my parents always taught me. You know. The education is there for you. To be a professional athlete, it's almost like flipping a car, a heads or tail. You know, you had to get some luck. You had to have the opportunity, and it was something that I was concentrating to try to get my education. And obviously, baseball and sport was the second thing that I was thinking about.
And I see you was a two-time All-State high school baseball player. So you must be doing something pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. We had a great ball club. You know, we had a good coaching staff, and you know, a lot of hard work. And you know, I knew at the age of 12 years old, you know, I had some special skill to become a professional athlete. I mean, I never thought that it was gonna be so quick like this, and my career was gonna take over so quick. But obviously, with a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and a lot of help from different people, coaches that helped me along the way. I mean, I succeed so far in my career.
And, you know, I used to coach college baseball. I scouted for 5 major league teams. And I've always told my guys that if you hit, they'll find some place you to play. Now, you know, you got over 400 home runs, approaching 500. When they said hit, did they just put Albert Pujols pitcher in there and define you as the hitter?
Well, I mean, there's some great players that I admire, you know, the way that they take the approach. Miguel Cabrera being one of those guys, you know, who I play against, you know, a lot in the National League, now in the American League. We play against each other. We know each other pretty well. And, you know, I remember himself when I was a youngster, you know, with the Cardinals in spring training. We were split in the same complex. And he was the talk of town. I mean, Miguel Cabrera, I mean, 19 years old. You know, and he got obviously the skill and the talent, but you know, just a lot of hard work in the big leagues. Like I said, God has given me the talent and the ability, and I just take advantage every day. I don't take anything for granted. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard is telling me, whether we're winning or losing. I always take my last at bat like it's my last at bat of my career, pretty much, and you know, every game like it's the Game 7 of the World Series, and that's the mentality that I have every day, and that's why people ask me, why you take this game so serious? You have to take your job serious. You know, if you're the boss of 500 employees, I mean, you're going to show up late to work. What are you teaching your employees that they can do the same thing? So I always try to get here early, get my routine, get whatever I have to do, and get ready for the game.
Well, I'm going to ask you this last 2 questions. I know you got to get ready for the game. First of all, you're destined to be a first ballot Hall of Fame. I mean, when you think about your legacy, how you want this game to remember you?
Well, I always said it. I mean, you know, I've done some special thing in the game, but at the end of my career, you know, I want people to remember me as a strong Christian guy that loves the Lord, loves his family, and serve the community. Baseball it's been great to me, and you know, but at the end, there's more than baseball. There's people out there that I'm reaching through my foundation and through my testimony, be able to you know, share what God has done in my life. And I think to me that's the most important thing any more important than any other World Series that I won or by the title MVP, to tell you the truth, you know, and I think that's my focus, to make sure that I thank God first and my family, and then my career is the last thing that I think about it.
Coach on the road, take your youngsters behind the scenes. All right, appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right.
A blast from the past, classic MLB interviews with the coach.
And stepping up to the plate at the Albert Pujols is Andrew Miller of the Boston Red Sox. A blast from the past as we look at some classic interviews from the past with Coach Mayden.
You see the Boston Red Sox behind me taking BP as the coach ventured over and had an interview with Andrew Miller. Go tell you what it's like being a pitcher in the big leagues. Talk to me with the coach, Mike Mayden. Stay tuned. Bring you youngsters baseball, baseball, baseball. And we ran across the man Andrew Miller, Boston Red Sox. How we doing?
Doing well, can't complain. Nice sunny day out here in Chicago, and ready for some baseball.
Okay, now we're taking our youngsters behind the scenes of what it's like being a major league ball player. Let's start off first of all with what it's like being a Boston Red Sox.
Can't beat it. It's a great organization to play for. Get to play in a fun stadium with great fans, and it's a lot of excitement. And like I said, you can't really complain. It's about as good of a place as you can be.
Now they say that this is a kid's game, the grown man playing. What do you say about that?
It's true. We're lucky. We get paid to play a game, and it's a lot of fun, and we're fortunate. And just try to make it last as long as you can, because it's not always going to be there.
Yeah. And you're a pitcher in the big leagues. I coach college baseball, and I scouted for 5 major league teams. I always told my guys that the quickest way to the big leagues was pitching and catching. So you're a pitcher. What was that role like for you?
That's all I know. I was never a good enough hitter to hit it all. So, it's what came naturally to me. And like I said, I got lucky and, stuck it out, practiced hard, played hard, and it's paid off for me.
So how hard was you throwing in high school?
I probably started really, really low, probably in the 70s or something like that.
You was really, really low.
But then, as you grow and, hit a growth spurt and get stronger and your mechanics get better, it picks up, steadily. And probably by the end, I was throwing, mid-90s at times. So, it's something you gotta work hard and it'll come, and, eventually it'll show up.
Mid-90s? How come I couldn't find you when I was coaching ball?
Because I was all the way down in Florida. I don't know.
Oh, you was here down there in that heat, all that heat down.
Exactly. Much better place to pitch.
So, I mean, as you developed yourself and went on and drew the attention of the scouts, I mean, what was your main pitches?
I've always been fastball slider. Those have been my 2 best pitches from the beginning. And, as when I was a starter for a while, my changeup got better and better. And I think that's, an awesome pitch. I truly believe in it. But, for me, that's always been my 3rd pitch, and, had to rely heavily on a fastball and a slider.
So when you were in high school, were you dominant once you got in the 90s, or was you beat all over the place? What was the story?
I was pretty good, and I played for a school that had a rich baseball tradition in high school, and I was fortunate to have good coaches and good people around me, and I was able to translate that into some success, which was nice. It's a lot more fun to win than it is to lose.
Now, for our TV audience, what high school was that?
I went to Pujols High School in Gainesville, Florida.
Okay. So you were down there in Gainesville.
Yes, sir.
There's some ball players in that Florida now.
Yeah, it's a good state for baseball. The warm weather, we get to play year round, and it breeds competition.
And what did college take you to?
I went to University of North Carolina and played there for 3 years before getting drafted, and enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a lot of fun, and it was a special place for me. But at the same time, glad it parlayed into a chance to play baseball professionally.
So what was it like when you was in high school and college coaches came looking for you, and the recruiting process and all of that?
It's interesting. It's fun to be wanted and have people, kind of, begging for your attention, which was neat. But at the same time, for me, it was a really good opportunity to get a chance to get into a really good school and pick where I wanted to go play. And I was lucky, and it turned out really well. I made the right decision to go to North Carolina.
And I'm sure, you was the stud pitcher on the mound, so I'm sure college prepared you for this major league experience.
Absolutely. I learned a lot in college, and, just like high school, tried to get better every year, every time out. And, I think I really kind of filled out physically and got a chance to grow up and mature probably on and off the field. So, you know, it was a good experience for me.
So, I mean, you get drafted, you get the attention of the scouts, get drafted, go to minor leagues, work your way up to the big leagues. What was that role like?
It was a rush. It was, I was lucky. I got to move up pretty quick and, you know, get to experience the major leagues right away. I got humbled and sent back down just like most people do, but it was, you know, a lot of fun. I came up with the Detroit organization, and they treated me well and gave me good opportunities, and, you know, it all took off from there.
You said you got humbled and sent back down. I mean, some of us call that, say we got our heart crushed.
A little bit of both, and it's happened to me multiple times, and, you know, it's not an easy game. There's a lot of people that are trying to work their way here, so if you don't perform, somebody's ready to take your job, and, you know, it's a chance to go down and figure things out and work through some stuff, and you just got to make the best out of it and get over it as quick as you can.
Hey, you know, we got a lot of high school, college baseball players that watch our show. Now, let's see. When you go in that locker room, do you turn on ESPN and watch yourself on TV sometime?
I don't usually make TV. If I make TV, it's a bad thing. Usually middle relievers only make it for they blow the game. But, yeah, we watch all the baseball, all the sports we possibly can. And, you know, it's a lot of fun to get to know some of these guys that are the superstars and see them on TV every night.
So do y'all rag y'all teammates when they do something to make ESPN?
For sure. Everybody's a target if they deserve it. And, you know, it's all good natured. Everybody gets along pretty well.
So y'all do trash talking at the big leagues?
Oh, for sure. It's part of the fun.
Coach, take you youngsters behind the scenes with demand for the Boston Red Sox. All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
The coach, Michael E. Mayden. A blast from the past as we take you back and share with you some of Coach Mayden's best interviews that includes past and present Major League Baseball players.
Next up is Sean Figgins of the Mariners, the only Major League player I know to have forgotten the pitcher whom he got his first Major League Baseball hit and home run off of. Watch this interview, and it will speak for itself. Sean Figgins.
We run across the man for the Mariners here, the third baseman, Sean Figgins. How we doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Just fine. As I mentioned, my show reaches a young audience, so it's young, aspiring baseball players. And you made a career over in the big leagues right now, and you're playing third base for the Mariners. What's that experience like?
Great. You know, it's something that especially as a kid growing up, you wish you could do it one day, and now I have the opportunity, and now I'm just trying to enjoy it more and more each day, and kind of just get kids to understand that, you know, this is what it's about, with hard work. Hard work gets you a long way, then good luck.
And I always tell those youngsters that the toughest part of being a major league ball player is that mental adjustment. How much mentally have you had to prepare yourself for this major league level?
It's I would say 95% mental. You have to be focused every day. You have to realize I have a job to do. You have to go out there and do it. You have to prepare yourself. Every day when you leave your home, you have to prepare yourself. You know what? I need to get this done. I need to get this done. And this is going to prepare me for the game. And that's something that you constantly have to do every day, is prepare yourself.
And you know, as a major leaguer, you're on the road a lot, wear and tear on the body, holidays, you're away from the family. How do you deal with that as a major leaguer?
You know, we get the good one, though. We get Thanksgiving. So that's something. You know, we miss the barbecues during the summertime. It's hard to get barbecues. But like I said, it's a direction I chose, and I always wanted to do it. And we only got a short time in our life to do it, and I try to enjoy it as much as possible.
And as we're doing this interview, the Major League Draft just took place, and I know you were drafted out of high school?
Yeah.
So that means you was pretty good, huh?
I was all right. I was okay.
Oh, okay. You was just okay. You're being modest today. Huh? I mean, it had to be a thrill of a lifetime, though, to be a high school ball player and get that call and off to the minor leagues.
Yeah, I remember me and my dad talking about it, going over the negotiations and signing. I'm like, Dad, I just want to go play. And you know, every time the kids get drafted, I'm happy for them. I'm a fan more than I am a player, and I like watching kids, you know, and get that experience. And then as soon as they get that taste of professional ball, it's a different ball game. But you just root for them. You just root for them because a lot of normal people don't understand what we go through every day, coming through minors and then get to the big leagues to stay. It's a tough road.
They just think you guys make a bunch of money and live the high life, huh?
Yeah, that's far from it. You know, a lot of times people think it's easy just to come out here and hit a ball and catch it. You know what I mean? We have off-field issues with family and things like that, and then you have on-field issues of, you know what I mean, trying to be the best player you can. And as players, we have to really try to stay focused and get out here and try to enjoy it.
So let me take you back. On that draft day, you got drafted. You signed a minor league contract, paid your dues in the minor leagues. I'm sure you paid some dues. Another show, another time.
A lot of dues.
You walked in that major league locker room for the first time and saw your uniform hanging up. What was that experience like?
Best feeling ever. Best feeling. I got to actually win a World Series in 2002. You know what I mean? I had a great career. But to actually get that call up was the best feeling ever.
And what team was that you got called up with?
Anaheim, and we was in Boston. So I got to go to one of the historical parks. I actually got the pinch run that day and scored the game-winning run. And like I said, that first call-up is better than anything that you can ever experience.
Remember your first hit?
Yep, at home in Anaheim.
Who was that again?
You know, I actually don't remember the pitch.
Come on, you blew it now.
Yeah, I killed it now. I know it's a base hit single with an RBI, so I know that.
What about the first home run?
Baltimore, Grand Slam. Don't know.
Grand Slam. Now you can't. Come on, you ruined it. Y'all should see he blowing it. He blowing it.
I ain't hit that many, so I should know it.
No. Okay, this last question. Did you pinch yourself when you was in that uniform? Did you have to pinch yourself, make sure it was real?
I couldn't even sleep. I remember getting called up for the first, I'd say, week or two. It was hard for me to sleep because I couldn't imagine getting up and actually going to a big league ballpark every day. It's something that you dream about, but until you actually get time to settle in and enjoy it, you still don't realize it.
Coach on the road, take you behind the scenes with the man who don't remember the picture. He got his first hit and his first home run off, but we're going to let him slide, America.
Thank you, man. Coach, take care.
Coach Michael E. Mayden, as we're taking you back with some classic interviews that I've done through the years of Major League Baseball players. And we're going to wrap up this show with a pleasant interview with the gentleman of gentlemen himself, Mr. Tony Gwynn Jr.
Ran across the man for the Dodgers, Tony Gwynn Jr. Got to put Tony Gwynn there. They might think of Griffey if I just say Jr.
Yeah, I know. So many of us are coming up following our fathers. You're going to end up with a lot of juniors when this game's all said and done.
Well, you know, I would call you Mr. Gwynn, but then that would be for Pops there.
Yeah, I'm a little too young for Mr.
We told kids that to play center field, that was the fastest position on the field. So how you wind up in center field?
That's a good question because I'm not the fastest dude by any means on this team and in this league, but I think it has a lot more to do with instincts. I grew up taking fly balls with my dad in right field, so just getting that feel, being out there all the time, I really think developed my instincts for being out in center field, and I became pretty good over it over time, but I've also had a lot of really good teachers through the minor leagues and through the different organizations I've been with that have really been instrumental in me becoming a pretty good center fielder.
Who have been some of those mentors for you?
Eddie Cedar's one. Steve Finley was another one. I was a lot younger. We played with a teammate with my dad. Ricky Renteria, bench coach for the Padres. And even here, having Davey here, has been a big help. So, that's one thing about this game. You constantly learn no matter how long you play.
So when you go out here and play Major League Baseball, it's every kid's dream. What is that experience like?
It's hard to describe. It's one of the most satisfying feelings I think you come across besides, getting married, having your children, things like that. But as far as sports is concerned, I wouldn't imagine anything better. You get to come out here, you got over 5 figures and fans here to watch you play every day, whether they're booing you or cheering you. It's still an adrenaline rush, and I enjoy being out there.
You just so happen to be playing with the Dodgers. Just a lot of mystique. Garvey, Ron Say, and I can go on and on with them legends in Dodger blue.
Mm-hmm.
So, how much of a privilege or how much mystique is that for you?
It's such an honor. I grew up on the other side of things. Being my dad played for the Padres, we typically hated the Dodgers for the most part. So, to get a chance to come over and be a part of this organization has been a tremendous honor. My uncle Chris, who played for the Dodgers, throughout his 10-year career, 11-year career. He kind of gave me a heads up about how this is going to be like no other team I ever played for. You go on the road, you're going to have hundreds of Dodger fans there everywhere you go. So, like I said, it's a blessing and an extreme privilege.
So what do you think about this interleague play?
I'm a big fan of it. You know, I grew up when this thing first started around that time, and you know, it was exciting for me to get to see the Ken Griffey Juniors come over and play. You know, getting to see my dad go to different yards that he had never been in before. I always found it to be thrilling, and I enjoy it. I think it's a tougher matchup for the National League teams because most American League teams are built, you know, for the American League. So when National League teams come to the American League parks, they typically struggle. But I think it's still exciting for the fans to get to see different matchups that they haven't seen, and I think that's what it's all about.
Hey, you know, I'm only 13, but I grew up in that Tony Gwynn era where he was one of the most prolific hitters in the game in his day.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of that has rubbed off on you?
Some of it has. I wish all of it would have, you know, sometimes. But, you know, there's only going to be one Tony Gwynn. The guy is probably one of the better, in my opinion, one of the better hitters ever play this game. So I'm proud of him, and it's an honor, like I said, to be his son.
So was your father dead, or was he the hero out on the baseball field?
Oh, he was a hero. He was a hero, in my opinion. He was dad and he was a hero. So, you know, I always looked at him like his dad first, and then, you know, after that, you know, whatever he did on the field, it was just icing on the cake.
When you walked in that major league locker room for the first time and saw your uniform hanging up, what was that feeling like?
That was the moment for me, to walk in there and see my own name, my own number, you know, up in the locker and have my name up there in Arizona. That was the first place I played in. That was the absolute best part about, you know, getting my first call up.
Coach, take you behind the scene with the man Jr.
Talk to me with the coach, Michael E. Mayden. A blast from the past as we take you back and share with you some of Coach Mayden's best interviews. www.blastfromthepast247.com.
Well, we're going to conclude this round of classic past interviews. We're going to invite you back next week. Thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to visit our website, blastfromthepast247.com. That's blastfromthepast, the number 247.com, for upcoming events. And be sure to click the link to follow us on Facebook. Make sure you tune in. A Blast from the Past. Peace out.